2, 1.
Here we go!
Hello everybody and welcome to today's episode of We Talk. My name is Jareen Hoff and I'm standing in for Yolanda Nell this beautiful Monday morning. If you were out and about this weekend, I'm sure you had a busy one because there was so much on the schedule this weekend. We've also got a busy program for you today. But first, our riddle. What time is it when an elephant sits on the fence? The answer at the end of the show.
Si escuchas trinar mi corazón, no esperes, pregúntale con emoción cómo era mi vida sin amor, porque llega ahora la ilusión y vuela al cielo abierto. Yo he visto la luna descansar.
Taking a look at our news, well-known local medical doctor Esperance Levandau has been listed in the 8th edition of Forbes Africa's 30 Under 30 list. This follows after Dr. Levandau was recently awarded the Queen's Point of Light Award. A precursor to the announcement of the list was the Forbes Africa 30 Under 30 Summit in Botswana, attended by the likes of Patrice Motsepe and the President of Botswana, Mokgweetsi Masisi, and others. Taking to her social media after the announcement, Levandau was emotional and struggled to express what the award meant to her and her team. I don't think anything can adequately describe this moment. I'm overwhelmed. I'm still taking it all in. I'm pinching myself every second. Is this even real? After all the long days, sleepless nights, and moments of self-doubt, thinking that this work was really impacting a few and not really enough people. The Economic and Social Justice Trust has cast doubt on Recon Africa's claim of using so-called organic drilling mud while searching for oil in the Kavango Basin. The trust said in an interview on One Africa in May that Recon Africa spokesperson Wanyengwa Shaponale stated that the company uses an organic drilling mud which she claimed has been tested by our people. The trust said that Shaponale was echoing earlier statements by company founder Craig Steinke, who in an interview boasted about his drilling fluid. The problem for Recon Africa is that organic drilling mud does not exist, the trust said in a media statement. The International Journal for Environmental Research and Public Health said that drilling fluid is generally a water-based mud containing mainly bentonite clay. Most drilling muds consist of aqueous slurry of 5% bentonite in amended with sodium hydroxide and a density increased material such as barite to help float out rock cuttings. However, the trust said that water-based is not the same as organic, and even though water may form the base of the fluid, chemicals are added as they are throughout the drilling process. In light of this and various other issues, the Economic, Social and Justice Trust has asked the Ministry of Agriculture to test the soil and to protect the precious water resources in the Kavango regions. On the occasion of World Environment Day, commemorated on 5 June every year, the World Future Council and the United Nations Institute for Training and Research, or UNITAR, launched a new report warning that children and the environment need to be urgently protected from hazardous chemicals. Today, most children are born pre-polluted, they say. They are already contaminated by numerous hazardous chemicals in utero. Annually, more than 1.7 million premature deaths among children under the age of 5 are caused by pollution and toxic substances. Toxic air and contaminated water and soil are not only an existential threat to human health in general, but also threaten planetary health, jeopardizing the sustainability of modern societies. Achieving a toxic-free future is paramount. The new report, A Healthy Planet for Healthy Children, provides key facts on how hazardous chemicals affect children's health, inspires with award-winning policies, and highlights the most critical policy recommendations for a toxic-free future. And in sporting news, the Namibia Foundation announced its sponsorship of $400,000 to Athletics Namibia, or AN, for the Namibian team's participation at the upcoming 2022 Africa Championships, taking place in Côte d'Or, Mauritius, from 8 to 12 June this year. This is Namibia's second commitment to AN following last year's sponsorship that assisted the Namibian team participate in the 2021 World Youth Championships, where they secured top medals. Besides Namibia's sponsorship of AN in 2021, through their sport pillar, they also supported the Namibian Olympic team for their participation at the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games and the Namibia Rugby women's national team for their first historic match against Zambia. This year, the foundation kickstarted their sport pillar with the sponsorship of middle distance athlete David Dam for his participation at the ASA Athletics Grand Prix Continental Tour, where he secured third place and achieved his personal best time.
$400,000 smile here. Yeah. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined with George, and George likes politics.
And jokes.
And jokes. George, you are the creator and owner of the Facebook page, The Daily Dissonance.
Yes.
Can you quickly tell us more about that page?
Okay, so The Daily Dissonance uses political satire and social experiments to illustrate the imbalances that exist within Namibian society. So what we do is we take issues that are of public concern, such as corruption, gender-based violence, and issues of governance, and we add a little twist to it.
Exactly what are those twists?
Okay, so our last episode, we stood in town and we tried to raise funds for the fish rod legal fees. Obviously, this was a joke. This was more to see the normal Namibians' reaction. And we got an array of reactions. We got angry responses. Some people were willing to help. So it was quite interesting.
Wow. And what are you currently working on?
Right now we're working on creating more content that is thought-provoking and that's going to create discourse. Mainly we want to look at issues of human rights violations and just the basic imbalances in our society.
Why is it so important for you to place a spotlight on these issues?
Okay, why I feel that it's my deontological duty to do this is because a lot of young people are not involved in politics and issues of governance enough, right? So I have a saying, either you're a part of politics or politics is happening to you, right? So we just wanted to get young people more involved in issues of governance so that they could be informed and make better decisions when it comes to leaders.
Do you think that there's a general shutdown when it comes to the youth voting and being active participants?
Yeah, no, we believe that there's a defeatist mindset. Like a lot of youth probably feel like, what's the point of voting? What can I really change with my 2 cents? But that's not the way to look at it. If everyone thought like that, I don't think anything would change in the world. So we want to get young people galvanized and more concerned about issues that concern them.
Why did you decide that this is the course that you want to go in? Why was politics for you so important?
Honestly, I've always been trying to figure out how can I help. Like they say, like what did John F. Kennedy say? He says, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. So I've always asked myself, like, what can I do for my country? And I thought that affecting issues of governance and policy making would be that for me.
What are some of the biggest issues that you think needs to be addressed in Namibia?
Okay, speaking as a youth, I would say issues of unemployment. The land issue is also quite a big issue that I don't think any politician really wants to touch. We have issues of minerals and jobs being exported. We need to look at how we can add value to raw materials in an effort to create employment. Gender-based violence is also a very big issue, and also other gender inequalities. You look at gender wage gaps.
And together we have a much louder and stronger voice than one or two people fighting for these problems.
No, I totally agree with you. If you look at issues like the vote, right? I think the vote is spread so thinly because there's so many parties now, right? So a lot of these parties are arguing the same things. Like if you look at, for example, Landless People's Movement and AR, I think their mandate is the same thing. It's the land question. But them coming together, I don't foresee that.
Do you think we need one very strong opposition party? Everyone standing together against all the issues that you just mentioned?
First, I want to say that I'm apolitical, right? I don't support any party per se, but that would be a beautiful thing if we could have one strong opposition as opposed to having the vote being spread everywhere, right? Why is it good to have a multi-party state? It's good because people are now fighting for that position of governor or that position of minister. You have to really prove that you're worth your weight.
Yeah. Were you brought up in a very political house?
I don't know. My parents are my dad being more political, but he's never pushed me into politics. It's always been a discussion. Say, what do you think the youth can do? Why don't you start something? All these things. So I've had really great parents in that aspect, and that they've been supportive of whatever it is I chose to do.
But I think that's very important. I think parents should play a very critical role in our upbringing, to be open-minded and to be vocal about the changes that needs to be made.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a lack in that parenting style throughout the country?
I can't really speak in general. I can't generalize, but what I think the problem is people are following blindly, right? We're not shaping our own opinions. I'm a specific party because my parents follow that party, and so forth and so forth. When it doesn't have to be like that. I think the importance of a vote is aligning what your goals are with a party's goals, and you see which ones are most similar, right? So if your issue is land, then you should be supporting a party that is after your plight.
The elections are coming up in 2024. What is your hope that will come from that?
It's a great question, Yolanda. Tough one. What I really hope is that politicians' policies line up with their actions, right? Like our last election, there was a large emphasis on youth unemployment and ABC and youth issues. But if we look at the budget for this year, it doesn't align with those policies and those goals. So we really need politicians who are going to stick to their promises after elections. That's what I'm hoping for.
What do you want to see Namibia look like 10 or 20 years from now?
10 or 20 years from now. I believe due to our small population, we should have a model that's like the Nordic model, where I think they've nationalized their resources, or something like this. That's what I'm hoping for, where where there's a lot of benefits for like single mothers, unemployed youth, the elderly. But that's going to be tough. I've spoken to some analysts who say that they don't believe that around the time when we're ready for retirement, that there'll be any government pensions. More importantly, what we're trying to do is create more content. So we're doing fundraising right now. So our target is 460,000. To date, we've managed to raise 42,000. That's 25,000 with Namibia Media Trust, and 17,000 from just friends and family.
Right.
So you guys should be expecting more content, more thought-provoking stuff, and just fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be fun.
That brings us to the end of our show today. But first, the answer to our riddle. The question, of course, what time is it when an elephant sits on the fence? Naturally, it's time to repair the fence. Thank you for tuning in today. Please be on the lookout for our show again tomorrow at the same time. In the meantime, take care.
Michelle fight, but how I go. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, your masterpiece. Riding, living it up in the city. Got my clothes on, no sitting around. I gotta kiss myself until pretty. Too hot damn. Got the police and the firemen. Too hot damn. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. Too hot damn. You better see my name, you know who I am. Too hot damn. And the band's about to make a money break it down. Girls singing hallelujah. Girls singing hallelujah. Girls singing hallelujah. 'Cause Uptown Funk gon' give it to you. Uptown Funk gon' give it to you. Uptown Funk gon' give it to you. Saturday night we hit the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. We don't need no education, no dark sarcasm in the classroom. Teacher, leave those kids alone. Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone. Do 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 do. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? I travel Keep your head up, moving on. Hold your head up, moving on. Keep your head up, moving on. Hold your head up, moving on. Keep your head up, moving on. Hold your head up, moving on. Keep your head up, moving on. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to be abused. Some of them want to abuse you. Everybody's looking for something. Uptown funk you up. I say uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up. I say uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up. I say uptown funk you up. Saturday night we hit the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on.